I rise to take note of what the Minister for the Environment's response to a question from Sue Higginson, who had asked about climate change and the recent floods in New South Wales. Now, I would like to remind the House, Mr Deputy President, 5 people died in those floods. That means there will be hundreds of people still, family members, friends, neighbours, who will still be grieving this unexpected and tragic loss. So my preference is not to politicise a tragedy. But that's what's happening every time something unusual happens in the weather. The left politicise it. And so we need to push back. If they're going to politicise it, we have no choice but to rebut them. The Minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to phony, baloney net zero targets and said that this will be a bumpy transition. First point to make is that before climate change, there was global warming. And those global warmists were absolutely certain that the world was getting hotter and there would be more droughts and arid landscapes. Now, that didn't happen. Al Gore and Tim Flannery went right out on a limb predicting these things, but they didn't happen, so they rebadged global warming to the all-encompassing catch-all term, climate change. Well, I don't think it was the right. I think it was Al Gore and his marketing team. There are too many snouts in the trough enriching themselves from the climate change nonsense. The 2 most extreme rainfall events for Sydney, since we've had records, was in the 1840s. In April 1841, 511 millimetres was recorded in one day, and a couple of years later, in 1844, 518 millimetres was recorded in one day. There were major floods in the mid-north coast in almost every decade since we have records. Last week was bad, but the river height last week was identical to the height it reached in the 1929 flood, a century ago. There has been no increase in the number of floods in this country. Floods occur frequently but randomly. Australia has been a land of floods and droughts since before the Dreamtime. We will continue to experience flood. Now, it was blamed on the construction of a coal mine, a nearby coal mine. Mr Deputy President, this is modern-day witch doctory. It's not getting hotter, floods are not increasing. Climate change is a Trojan horse for a big, bossy government, all in the name of saving us from an imaginary problem. The Minister says the transition to a net zero energy market will be bumpy, which is code for consumers expect to keep paying more for your electricity. Now, the Australian energy regulator just yesterday said New South Wales will get a 9.1% increase in prices from July the 1st. And they will continue to rise for the foreseeable future. The regulator blamed renewable underperformance and cost blowouts. Australia... Well, the coal-fired power stations, led by the government, are only unreliable because this parliament has made it so unfinancial to invest. They'd love to invest. Anyway, Mr Deputy President, we'll keep fighting against this fairy tale because that's all we can do.
Thank you. Rationality. President, I just want to respond to the Honourable Member Ruddock's contribution regarding renewable energy and the persistence on global warming, climate change. On global warming, climate change being some sort of conspiracy and hoax by the left. But I find it interesting that we're still having members coming into this House perpetuating the idea that climate change is not an issue, the path to renewables is a folly. The simple fact of the matter is almost everyone except the Conservative side of politics has moved on, including the market which they praise. It's over investing in nuclear. What it's doing is seeing where the future is and emphatically moving funds towards renewable energy.